You're listening to Court Reserve Unscripted with me, Ashley Owens.
There she is.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Happy
Congrats
fall.
on all the big news.
Thank you so much. We're going to take over the world.
That's right. It's so exciting.
So I
I told
just
Tim nobody deserves it more. I know you want to move on, and I'm ready to move on, but nobody deserves it more. You guys have worked so hard and committed, tireless hours. And anyway, I know Tim's like, he's like, dude, we're not done, man. This is only the start of great things, And I'm like, well, this is a pretty big landmark. So just take a win for once, and enjoy it.
Yes. It's like gas on the fire, right? I mean, the rocket's getting ready to launch. So
absolutely.
It's going to be great. So I'm wearing this shirt today in your honor. It's out of 10 Sleep, Wyoming.
Cool.
It's one of the places that when Tim and I drove across the country a couple summers ago and came out and did Mastermind with you guys, we stopped, and it was this tiny little town. Actually, Tim got a speeding ticket on the way out of town. And but it always makes me think of Club Pickleball because it's so close to Utah.
I love it.
So what's new in pickleball, Devan?
It is it's chaotic. There's a lot of money and energy and time and resources and players that are still, jumping into the sport. So I think the new is also some of the old, which is just growth and I think a whole lot of interest, on the economic side, and people trying to still figure out their angle to monetize and add value to the sport. It's not all a greed play, but like, how do we improve things and not be content with where we're currently at?
What is the biggest surprise that you have? Like, what's your biggest surprise in pickleball lately?
I think my biggest surprise in pickleball just within the sport or within like the club space or both. Like,
how about both?
So I think the biggest surprise to me within the sport is maybe, man, these are good questions. I'd probably say I'm surprised by the variety of appetites that players have. Meaning, you've got players that if it's not high stakes, everything's on the line, a money event, they're not interested. And then you got the other player who, like, if it is high stakes and if there is pressure, I don't want any of it, And it's like there's this wide spectrum of player types that almost anytime we roll something out new around the club, there's always someone that's like, I don't like that, and I don't like that. And then meanwhile, in the same group, there's people that are like, I love that, and I love that. And so that's my most recent, I think, big surprise, is just reminding myself that this is not a one-size-fits-all player experience. Everyone's coming from different backgrounds, different reasons that they interact with the sport, socially, health, competitive, right? We all view it through a different lens. And anyway, so that's surprising to me. The thing that's most surprising to me in the club space remains what has surprised me, I think, for the last 2+ years is the number of people that are maybe unknowingly optimistic about how the club business works, and they view it as the field of dreams and this big like passive income machine. And here in my local market, we've had, I think I could rattle off 5 different clubs in the last 18 months that have gone out of business, while others of us have grown and added locations. And I actually don't think that it's a matter of saturation. That's most what I hear in the marketplace is people saying like, oh, there's just too many clubs. I think there's just too many clubs that don't know what they're doing. And had they, had the right marketing or model or pricing structure, I think there's enough to go around. And I don't know. It's I think that I'm surprised by how many people just like blindly jump into the business and don't get any education, don't really I don't know, invest in any expertise. They're like, well, we consulted with a pro and the pro player told us. And that's usually, I mean, not that a pro player doesn't know what they're talking about, but in some respects, there's just a lot of misinformation or bad information delivered out there that doesn't suit a club owner very well.
So we've seen that at Court Reserve too. And it seems sometimes that it's business people who have done very well in other segments of business, and they love pickleball, and them and their 10 friends, they're just going to do pickleball. And then they don't want to do the day-to-day and clean toilets. And I think when you also open a club, you got to do everything from clean toilets to work the front desk, to create the culture, to hire the right people. You got to fire the right people. You got to do everything. And I don't think they all know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they maybe did it in their restaurant business, or they did it in their other service-based business, or selling a widget on an e-com platform somewhere, right? Like, everyone has a capacity to do things and to learn things. So this is certainly not above anybody. There's no skill set that can't be acquired here. But yeah, it's fairly common for people to think that a lot of things are going to translate over, or that they're just going to kind of learn it as they go, and it becomes way more expensive and slower moving than they anticipated, and then they're looking at their bank account going, okay, my reserve funds are dwindling, and how much longer do I want to keep burning the wick at both ends? And we've seen some of that here, some market contraction here, and then other people, we've been a benefit of one of those scenarios. And so anyway, the market will always adjust and react to it. But I'm really optimistic about still the growth of the sport that's still ahead of us. I know countless people in my circles that still to this day have never played, never picked up a paddle, and neighbors and other work associates. It's like, yeah, okay, just eventually.
Yeah. Eventually you will get sucked into the happiness. So talk to me about, we've been friends for years and we love what you're doing with Mastermind. We've been to Mastermind. Tim and I've been there like 4 or 5 times. Every time you have one, I want to come and I can't. One, so I can hang out with you and learn more about how to run Old Coast Pickleball, but 2, because it's such a beautiful place any time of year to be in Orem, in that Salt Lake City area. What are the biggest takeaways that you see when people come and spend 2.5 days at Mastermind?
Yeah, I love that, the context of that question. And we're fortunate enough to now be hosting our 10th Mastermind coming up here. December 10th through the 12th is number 10. And I think every group that comes through, and this isn't a one-shot experience, right? As you know, Mastermind lives on beyond the 3-day experience. We've got all these virtual spaces, the private Facebook group, the monthly virtual Mastermind call that we've recorded for the last 2.5 years. So we also have this library of training and resources for people. But I think the biggest takeaway from most of the Masterminds is the shock that people have in their face when I tell them we're not doing a monthly membership. And I don't say it as a, hey, this is absolute, you never ever, because I actually think Old Coast, you guys, I think you guys do a monthly, right? And it's like, hey,
we do.
Different geography, different number of courts, like different player audience. So nothing in Mastermind is ever absolute and a must and a always. But I think that's one of the things, the takeaways that clubs are like, man, I can't believe how persuasive and convincing Devan was about me never doing anything other than annual. And I chuckle a little bit because, we've had those interactions in Mastermind where people are are like, well, hey, that's kind of like the norm, isn't it? Like people are just accustomed to that. And I come from the lens of the Utah market where we have, snowy weather, and then we have pristine weather in spring and fall. And then we have the hot heat of the summer. And you just realize early on, man, I better have really like organic shortage and scarcity of inventory like you have in Old Coast. And it's like, hey, if it's not you, there's somebody else waiting in line to get access to the 2 courts that we have available, right? But in Utah, it's like, hey, I have enough courts and there are enough public courts that people have a myriad of options. And if I gave them the convenience of monthly, and I think this is the case for most clubs out there, you're like the player, you can't fault them for it. They will just abandon you when it's convenient for them. And then they'll hope that you're still in business when the weather is bad. And I can't hope to stay in business, right? And so anyway, the whole monthly annual conversation, the revenues behind those and how we structure that is usually a pretty surprising takeaway. The other one that I would say is that, despite memberships being a really strong driver for revenue and for predictable forecasting in your financial model, when people come to Mastermind and I say, hey, I don't attach membership revenue to any of my break-even model. All of my break-even is based on occupancy, court utilization, what type of experiences can we curate, so that when we sell a membership, which we love selling, when we sell a membership, it's profitability, it's margin, it's bonus, it's the cream on the top. It's not what paid the bills. So those would be kind of my 2 core things that people are like, hold on a second, you're only doing annuals and you're not relying on a membership to, get to a mark of covering your cost basis. And the last thing I would mention on that is just that, like, that's probably the default. It's the first thing that people jump to. If you and I were to just, I don't know, jump into business together somewhere and we're like, let's start a pickleball club. It's like, okay, it's going to cost us $50,000 a month to operate this thing between payroll and our lease and everything else. Well, what's the fastest way to 50 grand? Oh, it's X number of memberships, right? We take our highest ticket item and we immediately attach it to our break even. And I think it's a bit of a cart before the horse, kind of backwards way of thinking. It can get you into a lot of real trouble, because if you can't ever sell that membership, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, I would say from my own standpoint, being a pickleball club owner and being at Mastermind several times, my 2 greatest takeaways are the networking within those 3 days, that you get to meet other people just like you, whether they're starting out in business or they've been in business and they're trying to like turn the horse around, and those monthly Zoom calls, Devan. I mean, even if I can't make the Zoom call, I can go back and listen to it later. And
Yep.
the little nuggets of wisdom from you, of course, but from all of the other people doing exactly what we're all trying to do, which is create great community, create great culture, learn from each other, best practices, what's working for you. I mean, it's my 2 favorite things. And so I think combined with what you're doing, I mean, I always tell people, if you're going to do anything in pickleball, you got to go to Mastermind. It's well worth the money, because you're either going to spend the money making the mistakes or spend the money and get to go to Utah. I mean, I don't know which one is a
If you were Ashley, you'd hit the river while you're here and do some fishing or
yes, and
something.
fly fishing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I tell people on calls that in fact, I was just on one leading into this call with a gentleman who's trying to decide, hey, am I going to come to the December 10th through the 12th Mastermind? And I'm like, hey, man, this is a little bit of an insurance policy against your own stupidity or just ignorance. It not even stupid, it's this, what do I not even know what I don't know type line of thinking. And then can I just cut a check for speed? Can I, write Devan a small check? And it is small, like compared to what other things cost out there. This is a drop in the bucket for your club. And you're paying for speed to say, I'm going to get to my destination faster. And then the second thing would just be this like measure twice, cut once approach. Don't screw it up the first time. It's way harder to correct it and repair it than it is to just have measured twice and got the cut right the first time on that pricing or on that programming or on that membership offering. And Mastermind is also this awesome network that you mentioned of 100 and I think we're now 125 plus clubs across the US and Canada that are operating, and being able to bounce ideas off of each other, navigate the competitive landscape, hop on a call every 30 days and just say, what's happening, what's not working, what is working, what's new, what's changing. And I just think it gives all of us an upper hand as we navigate month to month, year to year in the club space.
So I know that we usually have 3 to 4 masterminds per year. It's kind of an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
If somebody's already been to mastermind, can they come back?
Yeah, they come back. They're grandfathered into discounted price. Obviously there's some hard costs of just hosting an event, the space, the audio visual. I got to pay a guy to manage the soundboard, catering. When you come out, we have a hotel partner, and it's like all of those things have inherent costs, but you're always welcome back, and you're welcome back kind of at a no margin price point, call it. And we have regularly, honestly, like every mastermind is usually another 2 or 3 people that are like, I'm sending my new director. I just hired this person and I want you to train them. And it's like, okay, let's put them through the ringer and give them all of the context and all of the disciplines and the principled mindset that drives decision making. Because when you change something around your club, if it's not rooted in some of the pricing logic and the balanced, approach that we have from a marketing standpoint or otherwise, then you might throw something off kilter that totally undercuts your existing offer. And, your staff member that you're paying to come up with these ideas just didn't think it through. And Mastermind kind of gives them that intellectual property to say, hey, Devan didn't just hand me a fish. He taught me how to fish, and I can reel him in now. And Mastermind, I think, is just that access and that communication. And then anywhere along the way, you forget something, everyone does. Can't refer back to my notes. I forgot what we talked about. I had this just the other day. Shout out to Terry Berger at Helen Indoor in Georgia. He's got a great lodge up there that they've got 4 pickleball courts in. He's hosting his first tournament. And he texted me the other day and he's like, I can't remember anything you said about tournaments, but I remember it was really important. And, we hopped on a quick phone call and sorted it out. He's got a high school state championship deal that he's hosting there in Georgia, and has a large group of players. But it's like, you're always going to have something come up that needs a question. And I don't want that question to go to a $15 an hour person that's reading off of a script. I'd like for that question to go to another operator or a network of operators that can give me multiple perspectives.
That's the magic right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how cold is it at your house right now in Utah?
It's not that bad. I mean, while I'm on here, I don't know if this will pull me off of the screen, but I think where I'm sitting right now, we're a cool 56, sunny and 56.
Oh, is there snow in the mountains yet?
Yeah, it's the top of the mountains are have some snow capped to them. Yep. Ski resorts are not, it's not really all there yet. The best snow on earth hasn't quite arrived, but it's coming. Yeah.
And I got to shout out, if you do go to Mastermind, or when you go to Mastermind, you have to go to Holy Tacos and eat at Holy Tacos. It's my favorite taco place.
I love that. I just had tacos today, but not from Holy Tacos. I'll try to hit that on a lunch appointment here coming up.
All right, Devan. Well, we'll see you soon in Utah. Thanks for spending some time with us on Unscripted today.
Yeah, I'm honored to be with you. It's always a blessing for me to see your smile and to know that all things are well over at Court Reserve. I can't say enough good things about Court Reserve. Some people I think tuning into this might be on another platform, and my goodness, Court Reserve isn't perfect. None of us are, but they're the closest thing to it in the club space for, technology and automation tools. So anyway, love you guys. Give Tim my best, and hope to see you soon.
We'll see you soon, Devan.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks for listening to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more about how Court Reserve became the go-to club management software for racket and paddle sport clubs, come say hello over on our website. There's a link in the show notes.